Ironwood Games. This is Andrew. We are back to this Kaldheim draft, which we have so far got one loss. We've played one of our games and we've got a loss. So we're not starting off strong. It was a close game and it was a good game. I think we were on track. I wanted to go back and check because last time we had the question about 2 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 7, but we didn't count this one, and we counted Behold the Multiverse as one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, 7 things, 7 cards that we could draw as far as 2 drops in that last game. So I think I said 5 or 6, so definitely had at least that many. All right, so let's go to play game number 2. Here we're looking for a win, even out our score. Let's see if we can find anybody. There we go. Say, don't be too scared of my pathetic deck. Okay, 4 islands, a Giant's Amulet. Avalanche Caller is definitely a turn 2 play. My opponent goes first. I am on the draw. I hate to flood out. So right now I have a turn 2 play into, I mean, in theory, you could on turn 3 turn the island on to attack for 4. And then that'd be turn 3, turn 4. I don't have anything. Turn 5, doing this. If we flood and we just draw lands, this hand doesn't do anything. Broken Wings is interesting, but not playable without a forest. We don't really want to draw lands. So I'm going to mulligan this because we're on the draw. We do get a little bit of grace, and I think we've got better hands than this. I think this is just a weak hand overall. It doesn't even have a lot of creatures or things we can do with it. So we'll keep this one. I think I'm going to throw Undersea Invader back. Of course, 4 lands and the Undersea Invader is good. I definitely keep both of these. I don't see why I wouldn't keep the Snow-Covered Forest. So sure, we'll throw Island back. Probably turn 2 is Gladewalker. And then maybe turn 3, 3 Seasons. We'll see what we get in our draws. Okay. And we're waiting on our opponent here. It looks like he kept 7. So that's fine. Hopefully they're a good 7 for him. I'm excited to get to play this one just because I feel like it's not very good. And I want to be able to say that it's not very good. But if I haven't played with it, it's kind of hard to just say it's not very good. There's definitely some effects that exile creatures out of graveyards for benefits, like we saw against our last opponent. And we've had, in green, we've even seen some of those things. So here I am going to play the Gladewalker just to put a presence on the board if he's going to revitalize, which is fine, and not put anything to the board. Then let's get some pressure and force him to play a blocker. Yeah, Revitalize is not a card that I really want to shuffle back in. Gain 3 life, draw a card doesn't sound like a, a bad thing for my opponent to have. However, it is a few turns away. If he only has one card, we don't give him as much advantage. And we did put a couple of lands, no attacks, in our bin. So, which we can always shuffle in. I think, based on how many we have, we would not. But is it choose 3 cards? So it's not up to or may. So if we don't have anything else in there, of course they'll go back in. We might just play the Snakeskin Veil. Was any of these snow? No, of course not. Yeah, we get no value off of the 3 seasons. Yeah. So we'll do that. So, no, there's no point to attack with him because he'll just block here. He's not going to trade. So I'll keep him up and force him to use something. Yeah, so he'll get his trigger. This match is definitely not... going our way at all, at least not to start with. Okay. As he is just taken to the air with his extra life and his better things. So I am going to send this Snakeskin Veil, put the counter, and then shuffle one less land back into my deck that way. Yuck. So we've just got nothing doing here. And my opponent's got cards, he's got mana, he's got creatures. This has been I was happy to get those cards we milled, the islands, getting off didn't bother me. Alright, so we've got a foretell, a double foretell. So that's interesting. I don't know all the foretell cards yet to think about what that could be. Oh my. My deck is just in love with me. Let me just say that. No lands last time, all lands this time. Such things happen. And, no attacks. On my opponent's instep, I'm going to... so we'll put a stop here, make sure that happens. I'm going to flash in this guy since he enters the battlefield tapped. He still, as a 5/6, doesn't get over this giant ox. Which is frustrating, but he got the bound in gold on this before he got it on my invader, so that's, I guess, good. My Sculptor of Winter is coming out so late. We don't have anything to ramp into. I mean, by the time we got him, we already had our mana. So he does, even though he can't attack, he will at least hold back some more of these guys. Sure, we'll cast Frostpeak Yeti. I'm going to play out my land just in case he's got... I don't need much more than that if he's got some discard effects. So I guess the discard lets him draw if he doesn't if I don't discard anything. Yeah, it would be nice right now to get maybe a bounce and deal with the Infernal Pet, or get Broken Wings and kill it the next time he gives it flying. So both of those outs work, and then I've got some pretty decent stuff on the board. These 06 doesn't bother me if I've got multiple 3/3s. I can bounce the Guardian to get rid of the Bound in Gold, but I don't know that that's the best use of it. Bouncing Story Seeker to reduce his lifelink, or some other creatures, some things might be better. What do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7. I need 5 and 2. So I am gonna go in for the 3 damage, because I need to even this out a little bit. I get to play a 5/5, which again, now we've got a good solid foundation for attacking him, but we have to be wary of the crackback. Okay, so the longboat doesn't bother me. That bothers me. Giving this guy flying and not having Broken Wings or something. So we definitely want to draw a card that deals with it. And my guess is he's gonna save up to have 2 spells to bring this in as lethal in the future. I can't attack. Oh my goodness. I know I don't have enough removal. That's just my problem, right? So let's make this guy unblockable. I can't believe we're gonna drop our second game here. I mean, I guess I can. We didn't draft particularly strongly. Yeah, we'll end the turn. At this point, we want him to draw lands just so he can't get the Infernal Pet off. As soon as he has 2 playable spells, we're dead. So again, hoping this is maybe needs a target, although we do have a tapped creature for the 1 kill spell. So that's interesting. This makes me feel like he has another Jarl. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to block here, because that destroys, yeah. And then I'm going to untap this Snowland. And give him +2/+0 and indestructible. so that he doesn't die to any nonsense. Okay. That's at least something that keeps me in the game. Can I get it in with the Yeti and still play it? Because of the Sculptor of Winter, I can. Okay, and now we're talking, because he can also attack profitably into this. So right now, if we attack with everybody, he blocks 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3. I think we wait a turn. To go in with everybody, especially since this guy is off. He's got 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it takes maybe 2. And we might get some profitable trades, but then we can die very easily to the crackback. We do have to be very concerned about this getting flying and getting big. Next turn we can come in. I think we'll just go in with our big guys. Leave the 2/3. Don't give him anything that he can possibly eat. Make him at least trade on these. And then pray to the magic gods that we can get. Really, Broken Wings would be great to deal with that. I'd like to keep a bounce for another turn to go all in. So I wouldn't mind like Broken Wings on the next draw, so we can attack with some of the big guys, clear out the field. Then when he gets an Infernal Pet trigger, we can kill it. I think I'm guessing what he's trying to think is to figure out if he plays the card he has, or gets a trigger here to try and bring me down, or if he, waits on things and to build up 2 turns in a row. So I think he's kind of thinking of his options. Okay, so Return Upon the Tide just brought this one back. That's fine. That may have been what his plan was with it previously, was just to bring it back and destroy something. And then he didn't. So he did play 1 spell. Is he going to play his other one? He knows it puts him behind. Elvish Warmaster is interesting, but doesn't do anything at all. 1, 2, 3 on the next turn for all of my mana would put him there. So I'll probably, I might play him. I'm not sure. The other question is, do we attack with everything? Let's attack with Frostpeak Yeti. Next. My concern is if I attack with Ravenous Lindworm that he like chumps it with something. But I think whatever he can chump it with, we get a 2-for-1 off of it at least. I don't want to be defenseless on the crackback here, so I think we're just going to be a little conservative. Yeah, that's fine. Crew it. Gonna double on the Lindworm. Not really sure what his plan is here. That's interesting. He crewed it and then didn't block. Maybe wanted to see what we had, if we had something to kill it with. I'm gonna play Elvish Warmaster again just to get as wide as I can. The fact that I am dead to a spell that gives 2 guys flying, or many options. I really need to try and end this on the next turn. And I think being as wide as possible and having this option to pump for all my mana makes his math pretty challenging. I wish I had the Guardian Gladewalker. And then depending on what I draw. If I draw a land, of course, I draw a land, because that's what's likely to happen. If I draw a bounce or something else, we do have to remember these life linkers matter in that when we're kind of getting aggressive and being proactive, that he is essentially at 13. And if he can block our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 creatures, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, he's only taking 2. And then depending on trades can come back in for quite a lot. So it's definitely close and interesting. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna force his hand a little bit here. We're gonna send in lethal plus is what I'm thinking. I kind of want to do that because now he's got to block 2 of them. Right, he can survive any singular attack. I think I still have enough blockers, including my Horizon Seeker, to live on my end. This puts him... Well, he can't block the Yeti, which puts him to 5. So he does have to block both of these guys. This is the block I expect here. And then I'm okay with a chump here. And perfectly okay with a double block. Again, he's not using his lifelinkers. Which is... I don't know what that means. It's interesting. We're going to go in with the Horizon Seeker next time. I think just the Frostpeak Yeti and the Horizon Seeker, because we can boast and search out and thin out our library to get to better cards. So this game has tightened up a lot. It's gotten a lot closer from when it was looking desperate, and he decided he didn't have an out. Okay, so we'll take it, rank up a little bit. Well, we won, so I would say we played that well. I don't know what my opponent was kind of doing or thinking or what his game plan was. I don't know what his cards were. Early on, we struggled. I think we kind of managed that. But I do recognize that we were, the right spell or 2 spells away from death. If he could give another creature flying, play just 2 random spells to give this guy flying, that's 9 damage coming in, in the air. So it was close. We had to be very cautious in these attacks, and I think we managed it well. I think we navigated pretty well in forcing some of these forcing that uncomfortable block last turn on that. We'll definitely go back in and take a look. Yeah, I wasn't impressed with this card. We'll give it, of course, some more tries and see. As always, guys, if you saw anything, if you have any thoughts, feel free to add them. Love to hear your feedback. How we could have done that better. Was that mulligan we took? Was that a good choice? Do you agree? Do you disagree? And we evened it out at 1-1. So until next time, guys, take care.